So you want to fit acrylic secondary glazing to your home to make it a little bit warmer and also reduce your energy bills. But what happens if you've got windows shaped like that? So this video is a follow-up to the earlier one I made about acrylic secondary glazing. You can see it linked somewhere above. In that video I showed you how to measure and fit acrylic secondary glazing to ordinary windows, which are basically rectangular. But if you've got an old home, there's a good chance you might have some rather strange shaped windows. This one here is in a roof which has been converted into living space. It's quite an attractive feature, but boy does it make the room cold, as you can see with this image from the infrared camera. Now, since I made that first video, I've learned a lot about fitting acrylic secondary glazing to weird shaped windows, and in this video I'm going to be explaining how to do it. Let's get started. So what's the secret? Well, googling for plastic sheet online, I discovered that the polycarbonate plastic, typically used for secondary glazing, has lots of other uses, such as kitchen splashbacks. And kitchen splashbacks aren't rectangles, they can be complex shapes with cut-ins or cut-outs for pipes or taps. So there are companies that will supply transparent plastic sheet cut to almost any shape. You supply a diagram, they'll cut it. Round edges, screw holes, no problem, and it's not expensive. So yes, they can cut plastic sheet to put secondary glazing on a window like this, or a window like this with a round top, or, okay, well this one might be a bit much, but pretty much any domestic window. I used a firm named cutmyplastic.co.uk, but there are plenty of others. It's all about careful measurements. You can send them a sketch, or some of them have got websites where you can enter complex shapes, and this is what I got back. These two are for windows with locks very close to the pane, which is why they need a little sort of cutout. Note that they're white because they've still got their protective film on. This one is for the triangular window I showed earlier. This is exactly how it came, cut from the supplier. Now there's loads of YouTube videos that can explain how to turn plastic sheet into secondary glazing. If you're not a DIY person, then you can get your handyman or handywoman to spend 30 minutes watching YouTube. It's really not that difficult. This front door has a lock very close to the window glass, and this is the window that I said in my first video that it couldn't take secondary glazing. Well, here it is. It's glazed with plastic sheet with a cutout to go around the lock. It's already making quite a difference to how warm the whole of my house is. Most of the secondary glazing is held in place with magnetic tape, so you can get it on and off easily. But in this case, because it's on a front door, I screwed it in place to add an extra layer of security, and I used the kind of screw covers that are used for mirrors to make a nice, neat job. For the triangular window, the plastic's held in place by magnetic tape, which is the normal way of doing it. It requires a little bit of care to make it neat, but there's plenty of guides online to DIY secondary glazing. If your walls are uneven, as a lot of old house walls are, it might be worth using this more expensive foam plastic tape, which is more forgiving of bumps and lumps in the surface. Again, once you've got the whole thing sort of assembled, my earlier video explains how to put it on the wall so it looks nice and neat. So look at that. Secondary glazing on a triangular window, and it was cheap too. Cut to size. The plastic sheet was less than £20. The magnetic tape that holds it in place is a little bit more than £20. So overall I spent about 40 quid. It's going to make this room quite a lot warmer. I think I'm going to have my 40 quid back pretty quickly. If you've got any questions or you'd like to know more information about this, please leave it in the comments section below. Or you could visit our website, and the address is there on the screen, which has got loads more information about energy saving and ways of combating climate change locally. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been useful and inspiring. Thanks very much for watching.